My name's Lance, welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. Look, it's about 10 to 23 at the moment. We haven't had any more rain. At 23 the grass is growing. Judy mowed the backyard at the house there the other day just to tidy it up a little bit. But yeah, look, it's not bad weather. It's comfortable for working. It's Monday, almost Monday evening here. This morning I had that much to do. I just wanted to get up the shed and do it. I've been solid on the shed here for a couple of afternoons last week and 3 days this weekend. Since the stew last weekend, yep, we had the crane and the trucks, and that lathe, I reckon it was pushing 6 tonne, and that big old Maxon I sold. And so we've had a big 20-tonne franner come in and lift that out, and it's gone on another truck. And the manifold grinder's gone as well. So where I pulled the big lathe out of in here, where I saw all the mess last week, I've just been for a walk around with my camera just to show you what I'm up to with it. I'm about a quarter of the way done. So look, it's not bad. I had a haircut because I thought I was going to a machinery show. I thought, oh, you better tidy up, you scruffy bastard. So I went and had a tidy up, and then with the show at Billawheeler that we were going to, they only had 18 exhibitors registered, the story goes. So, and so they cancelled it, they called it off, because with COVID they have to have a COVID plan in place, and part of that COVID plan is have registered who's turning up and where they're coming from, and also for the meals, they put on cracker evening meals up at Billawheeler, and they need to cater. And a few years back now we went up there, well, I think it was Friday evening, and they put on a free barbie, and it was a pretty poor barbie. They just ran out of tucker. But the story behind it was that, say they had 60 people booked in for the barbecue, about 130 odd rolled in for it, and they just run out of stuff because people don't book. So I know about 8, 9 people or families, some couples and some are just single people and all that were going, but they never bothered registering. And so what can they do? So they called the show off. So there's a few people a bit shitty, I'm hearing, that the show got pulled off, but I think some of those people weren't booked in, I don't know. Well, I know some of them weren't anyway. And so yeah, when you're trying to run a show on a week before, actually it would have been a fortnight before, you had 18 people register the show, their machinery, and normally there's over 100 exhibitors turn up. There's often 70, 80 tractors and things like that. So yeah, you can understand them as a club not putting the show on, because how do you cater? You cater for 18, 20 people, exhibitors or couples. So say it's couples. Well, you've got 40, 50 people there, and then all of a sudden all these people just roll in and unannounced, and you've got to give them places. You've got to supply meals and food and the vendors and all that sort of thing, the coffee and the meals and all that. And with just 18 people registered, well, no one's going to turn up and sit there all day with a coffee van for 18 people that are going to sell 10 cups or something like that. So look, it's the time we're living. We were booked in. We give them our credit card details for all the meals and the accommodation and everything, but it's just called off. So my mate Davey Rocket Recco, he just sent me a message before this stew that the Pine River show this year north of Brisbane's cancelled as well. So we're just having a bit of a run of COVID scares at the moment, I think, and I was talking to a fella at Billawheeler. He owns a motel in Billawheeler, and I was talking to him through the week, and I said about the show being cancelled, and he says, it's just unreal at the moment. He said they get motel bookings, and I believe, if I got this right, this weekend there was a music or country music or something show up in Billawheeler this weekend, and it got shut down. So he said, you book these rooms, next thing, oh no, you're full house, next thing, she's empty, no bugger turns up. So anyway, that's the world that we live in at the moment. they're very busy week this last week. Like I say, on the Monday we had the trucks and the cranes, and got rid of the lathe, and started cleaning the whole show up here. And all these shelves in behind me, you can see our new. We're trying to set up a full back wall for Bundy Bear's shed for videoing, and the benefit of doing that is I've got a light just up here, one up there and one over there. So these lights here, normally when I'm doing the stew my face is quite dark, but I've got lights coming in now. We're back up the shed enough, so we'd be up the shed another 4 metres, 5 metres to what we would normally be. And so, and behind the shelving here, and some of this is old shelving that got flooded in the 2013 flood, and I've cleaned it all up, pressure cleaned it, and you can see I've got the stencil and put the Bundy Bear's shed along. I've put the Sparex signage up. They're a major sponsor. LSA oil, that's just a sign I had laying around. I sell that at work. Australian company from Western Australia, and we sell LSA oil, so I had a sticker, I had a sign for that. I've got a quality tractor parts sign that may go up, or I am thinking of doing a Queensland Tractor Spares one, getting one professionally done. So look, we'll see. It's not looking too bad. You can see to the right of me, and in my little walk around at the end, you can have a better look at that toolbox. It's Renegade from Trade Tools. It's a 53-inch long toolbox. They're a cheaper range of toolboxes, but with getting rid of a lot of the shelving and my other tool, my blue toolbox just being chockers, and the bench underneath was chockers, and I decided to go with that. Then down here, this is just a little walk around trolley with 3 drawers and a top, so when I'm at working next to a job, I can just have that with me and drop the tools on there, and then bring them back and wipe them up and put them away. Where at the moment they get sat on a milk crate, or they just get sat down on the floor, or when I come back they get stuck in front of the blue toolbox, and then you can't open the drawers. So it's just about trying to streamline it and tidy the act up a little bit in general. So that toolbox there, I did a job with a friend. I did a deal with a friend of mine. The fellow that bought the big Maxon lathe and the manifold grinder that we got lifted out last week. There's some big big ruts in the yard outside from where that crane came in. Geez, it was heavy. And but yeah, and then you got the crane with a 6 tonne off the end. They reckon 6 tonne for that big Maxon. And I know my 2.5 tonne forky was struggling with one end. So yeah, last time you saw this, it looked like a bomb went off, ground zero. I've got it tidied up a hell of a lot, but I've been just putting in a big effort to get it there. But back to this toolbox, Scotty, you may recall, I don't know if I showed you or not, I had a little Deltec rock hopper mini bike here, and Scotty's got a bit of a motorbike collection, and he said, oh, you want to sell that? And I said, oh, I don't know, you know. Yeah, one of those things. I didn't really have a plan of doing it up ever. I just one of those things. So anyway, we're talking about it, and I said, oh, I'm thinking about buying this toolbox. This is the toolbox I ordered last year, but they couldn't supply, so I went and cancelled it. Now they're in there again. So I said, oh, what I'm thinking of doing is, if I do, I'll go and buy that toolbox. So he said, well, how about? He went and bought the toolboxes, and he said, you give me that mini bike, that little rock hopper, and I'll give you these, I'll go and buy those toolboxes for you. And I said, yeah, all right. So that sort of fitted. It all worked out nicely, and so I got a nice new roll cab, 53-inch roll cab with the top box on it, and I went and bought this one myself through the week, just working the plan out how it was all going. So I've got a nice new tool chest for there. My old workbench with the vise and the blue box, it just fits at the end of the bench here. So I've been pressure cleaning the floor out as I've been going, and I've been sweeping up, then a big pressure clean, and away we go. But each bit of shelving that comes out goes out the back, gets all pressure cleaned off, then brought back in, then yeah, so it's a long job, but I'm hoping that it'll be nice when it's done. You might see the old longer pump here. That's that new pump I put in last week, a couple of weeks ago now I suppose it would be, and through the week the solar panels on the roof of the shed here weren't working properly, so we got onto Solar Heart and they turned up and they give them a good scrub and cleaned them and all that, and my missus doesn't want me up on the shed roof. She thinks I'm too old and buggered, I think. So anyway, look, we got the Solar Heart out to clean them up. The pump worked fine. To run the pressure cleaner this weekend, the pump wouldn't work. No, but God, bloody thing, what's going on? So I checked the power. I had power coming to the cords and power everywhere I needed it. So it was going in here, but the little lights weren't coming on. So there's 4 little screws here, so I undone them, and you can see in the back here, in the board there, something's melted. You can just smell it and it's melted. So, so if you recall, I got a 1,000 litre pod with a little pump on it for watering the orchard. So I let the water run from the big tank with a garden hose into that. So to do the pressure cleaning, I've got to start the little pump from my little firefighter irrigation unit, start that, then my new petrol pressure cleaner, I've got to start that. So I've got 2 petrol motors going just to pressure clean the bloody floor. And plus any stuff, you know, some of the stuff was going out, getting it clean and getting brought back in. So so anyway, so I've got that out. I bought it end of April, end of May. So I've got that outside, that can go in the ute, and I've got to take it back tomorrow and just get a warranty claim on it, or get them to supply a new top or whatever they want to do with it. And then I'll have water back again, but yeah, she's been a rigmarole. Yeah, pour petrol in this one, keep them both full and start this to give you water pressure for that. Then when nothing's working, you've got the hose siphoning into the 1,000 litre pod to keep it full. What a show, I tell you. But yeah, look, just a really busy week. Nephew Ray, he came down to pick up a few bits and pieces, and he had a pump here, and his marriage has gone west, so he's just tidying up a few loose ends. So he come and stayed for a couple of evenings. So so for him coming down, staying, and all the lathe and all that going, then all this going, the toolbox is coming and trying to load up. It's been a really busy week, really busy time. And when I was putting this shelving up, I had the frames up and I'm just bugging around getting through, and I went to lift my foot over a piece of frame, and the piece of frame I was having got tangled in the bit on the floor, and I couldn't get my foot back on the ground. So I hit the concrete down there on Saturday and screwed my knee, and I got a bit of a dicky knee. Well, that's the bath that I had to fall on, no. So it's sore. I can walk okay, it's sort of below the knee, and but if I kneel down, I try and kneel and do something, holy shit. So, I don't know what's going on there, but Christ, I must have good bone. I don't think I broke anything, but holy shit, it towels me up. So I'm trying to take a milk crate with me, and whenever I need to get down, I'm dropping a milk crate down and having to sit down. So anyway, bloody old and silly, old and senile, I think. So, but anyway, so yeah, I've been hobbling around with that. Then to get the folder and the wheel roller, the plate rollers and all that up the other end. Well, that's taken me just about all day today, cleaning around them and then trying to lift them with my little blue engine crane. Because of the mess in here, I couldn't actually get the forky in and around properly. So we're getting there. I still have to wire the hoist up, but what we're doing, once I've finished with this bench, I've got this bench sorted out okay here. We've got to run air lines down the corner there and down that corner there. So while we're running the power across for the hoist, we'll run power. Look, and it may even just be an extension lead down this side with a little power board, so we have electricity on the bench, and we're also going to plumb in air, and the air only goes to the back door there, so we're going to have to plumb the air across the door down the other side. So where I've put the parts washer, there's an air outlet there as well. I have had a couple of cheap retractable hose reels, for the and look, they're all just rooted, they're in the bin. And so I might buy some good quality ones of those too. The idea is just to keep everything up off the floor, because I seem to get tripsy a bit, and so mess makes an unsafe workplace. So anyway, we'll see how we go. I got a little parcel through the week. James Holland contacted me, look, quite a little while ago now, and James owns CHG Classics Limited, and I'll just put the card up there. So then James contacted me I'll show you the back as well as a little bit of info there, and be alright if I focus. And James contacted me saying that it made, for a TEF 20, it made the crankshaft locking tab and the camshaft locking tab. And as he said, he couldn't believe that no one was making them. So he said, I watch your channel, I'm making these, would you like me to send you a sample out for a look? And I said, yeah, I would. That would be nice. So he sent them out. Now, they're laser cut. Look, it's a really nice sample. You've got a little tab there. Now on the main pulley one, you can see the little lines there. I believe, and I haven't checked this out yet, I believe we just got to bend that little tab back a little bit to go up into the keyway on the pulley a little bit, and then we can do it up. So thanks, James. They came okay. It is a good thing. There's not an awful lot of TEF 20s in Australia, but look, it might be a line that Queensland Tractor Spares keeps. I might contact you. Perhaps we get 10 of each or something like that. Sit them on the shelf. That'd last us quite a long time. But with Queensland Tractor Spares, we just try and have we're aiming for the most complete range of TE20 parts. TEA, TED, TEF, FE35, and we're looking all over the countryside for bits and pieces, good quality parts. And we're going to try and stock what we can in Australia. And we have a fair range, but with this, back to this COVID thing, it's a pain in the arse. Like the Sparex, they're our main supplier, and they're having supply troubles. We sell quality tractor parts in Australia. We bring that in from Ireland once or twice a week, depending on what we're selling. And they have issues. They can't get this, and all of a sudden it's back in T20 steering shaft bearings and things like that. So Sparex has a good range. They don't do a complete range. Quality Tractor Spares fills some of the gaps. Bearco fills some of the gaps. We use AgriLine for parts that the others don't have. Bepco. So look, we fiddle along with it. We try and stock what we can, and just that there, those little items, that's something else, something unique. So have a talk to James. CHG Classics Limited, 17 Broad Drove, Wisebeck, Cambridgeshire. Reliant Sales and Service, 3,000 plus parts. Looks like a car bloke that's got tangled up in tractors. You're buggered now, Jane. Don't worry about them cars. Just keep buying tractors. That's the way to go. See what happens. But look, that's about it. I've just gone for a little walk with the camera before I started the stew. I had a bit of a quiet spell, and the dogs were quiet and everything, so I thought I'd just have a quick lap around. Look, there's still a lot of work to do, still a big mess, but it's looking good. I've got to clean this bench up properly yet. Part of the shift, you'd shift things, and you seem to shift things here, then that's out of the way, then you get to there and think, oh shit, I've got to shift that again, and it goes here and round the mulberry bush. So yeah, there's quite a bit ahead to do yet, and it's actually quite interesting. I'm finding shit I didn't know I had, or I forgot I had. I knew that I had some of it, but my old dad that passed away, not this May, the one before, 2020, Mum was out for a yarn yesterday, Arvo, and I said, you know the old boy, I'm bloody sure he used to sneak into my shed and put stuff there. She said, I don't think he'd do that. And I said, I reckon he has. I'm finding things with silver frost. My old man loved silver frost. And he'd get silver frost, he'd paint things silver frost, all old blokes do I suppose, and then he'd tie 2 or 3 of them together with baling twine. And I've been finding stuff like that. So I reckon I don't know whether he's giving it to me or just putting it up there or what was happening. I'm also finding little bottles, like where my oil bottles were, there's little bottles of transmission anti-slip something or other is found somewhere, and things like that. Well, see, I just don't buy that stuff. I don't believe in witchery. So I'm finding little knickknacks. I said to Mum, I'm pretty sure the old boy must have been, you know, dropping a few things here and there in his shed. And she said, no, I don't think he would. Well, I think he did. We'll see, the old fella. He's not around to ask, so anyway, but and he didn't often tell her everything. So I know that for sure. So anyway, we'll see. So next weekend, because we can't go to the Bill of Wheelers show, Judy said, well, you know, we'd sort of booked in to have Friday off at work to travel to the show, and she says, why don't we just go away and have a weekend away together? So that's what we're doing. Adele's coming to look after the place, the daughter. She's coming to look after Kelly dog and feed the ducks and chooks and all that sort of thing. Olight, the torch people, they got onto me and they said, are you interested in working with us? And I said, yeah. I said, I've done 2 reviews on Olight torches and they are my favourite torches. They're the ones I go to all the time to use. They're just cracker little things. But I'm getting this lady from Olight, Carol, and she says, oh, we've got a thing, promotion this month, would you like to be part of it? And I've been sending an email back saying, yeah, that'd be nice, thanks. Nothing's ever happened. And so that's happened for 2 or 3 months running. So anyway, the fellow that contacted me originally about Olight, doing an affiliate program with them, Arrow, he contacted me, he said, g'day Lance, he said, we haven't done anything for a while, is there a problem or, you want out or something? And I said, no, I said, I've been agreeing to do stuff with yous, when they get a new product, have a look at it, and they send me one, I do a bit of a chat and have a look at it and see what I think about it, and then there's an affiliate link in the description, and if you go to the Olight site, and you don't have to buy that thing I'm showing you, and you happen to purchase something, we get a little bit of commission. And I said, no, look, I've been agreeing, but nothing's happening. So we went through and he said, I can see your emails there, but this lady, Carol, whoever she is, she hadn't acted on it. So the other day, he said, look, I've got this thing, I think it'll suit your workshop. So it's a little head torch type thing, and it's got a magnet in the bottom. And if you're in the dark a bit, it'll stick on the front of your toolbox and look down into your drawers and things like that. And I've been playing with it up the house, just trying to work out how it works and just get the feel of it a bit before I do the review. And look, it's a cracker. Rechargeable via USB, and there's a little torch, a little lantern, and the little lantern, Jesus, bright. Jude took it out. She was going to take it out and have a look at the ducks and that, outside. It chucks some light out. If the power went out, it'd be fine. And you can unscrew this little bulb and put a little candle thing in. And with the candle, if you're going to have a romantic dinner, they reckon it'll last for 80 hours. She'd be a bloody long old chew, wouldn't it? 80 hours. But so there's a couple of Olight reviews coming up. I've been playing with them. I'm liking it. The first little torch is like the little blue one I had. I put on my cap, and when we went camping, when we were on holidays recently, I used to just slide that onto my cap for the night, and if I was doing cooking or poking around outside, look, it's just a great little thing. And then the other one that takes a battery, it's not rechargeable, I use it overnight next to my bed if I need to hop up and go to the toilet or something like that. The dogs have a funny habit of camping right where you want to walk, so I used to just shuffle around, but now I've got a little torch and I use that, or if I can hear the chooks kicking up or something like that, I grab this little torch and go. So there's going to be two Olight reviews coming up, and look, I'm enjoying them. They're a good thing. In all honesty, they're bloody expensive. But look, they're nice. Well, I'll cover the price when I do it. But look, I think they're an expensive product, but they seem to be going well. And mine, I'm enjoying using them. Like they're good stuff for me. One thing about it though is when they put beautiful packaging on them, like as if you buy an iPhone or something like that. And the packaging, probably if they just went a bit slacker with the packaging, they could make it a bit cheaper then. But anyway, who cares? That's how it is. I'm enjoying doing that, and there'll be a couple coming up. But we'll see how we go. So I've got to try and fit that in this week before I go to Billow. Oh, not going to Billow. Before I go away. I'm not used to saying I'm going to Billow. It's stuck in my head. Before we go away for a weekend somewhere, and yeah, so I'll try and get that done. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't, and no big deal. And but we'll stay away Friday evening, Saturday evening. We'll come back home next Sunday, so that'll give me Monday in the shed, and I should be able to tell you a bit about what I've been up to. So we'll go from there. So look, stay with us. I've just done a little walk around, like I say, just before I started the video. I better put my pump in the car while I remember. And look, have a great week, everyone. We'll catch you next week. And try and stay healthy. Keep away from the bloody COVID. Catch you later, eh? Okay, where the forky is here, this is the lube bay, where the hoist is, or the lift. So we've taken all the shelving from there, and I've shifted shelving. Those filters and things like that are going to go. I've just got the forky in here at the moment. We've put the parts washer across that side. We have to get a sparky in to run a bit of wire over there for us. When we come down this back alley here, we've moved the big sandblaster right to the door. We've moved the bead blaster for the carbies and distributors and that, the glass blaster, in behind it. So the idea of that is that we have all the mess near the door where I can clean out. Now this, I'll just turn around so I've got the light at the back a little bit. So they're the old drums that I've always had. I've just put all this shelving along here. Now this shelving was over near the sort of near the service bay roughly. So I've pulled all that out, I've pressure cleaned all that up, I've brought it over, and I'm just starting to fill that up with degreasers and brake fluid, coolants and things, bulk storage of bits and pieces. Pressure packs I haven't sorted yet, other junk I haven't sorted yet. But when we come around the end here, now this is where the big lathe was last week. So yeah, look, it's been a big week, I tell you. So that was where all the mess was. So we've cleaned all that out pretty well. We've got the handbrake folder over against the front wall and the wheel roller, and I'll have to make a couple of brackets over there. I've just that's a bit of a corner at the moment that's getting everything slid there until I find a proper place for it. So when we the little presses over there. Now all this shelving, that's all going yet. We're working on that at the moment. The that's where those tin shelves are coming from, and that's a little TEA and my normal workbench that we're repurposing, and so everything there has to go. The big press, the 50 tonner, I was going to put it near the little one, but now that's going to go along the end of the workbench over there. So at the end of our little space here. So my old work trolley with the blue toolbox on it, that fits nicely in the corner there at the end of the bench, and it'll level up with that piece of shelving. And then the press will stick out the end here a little bit. There's plenty of room for that. This area through here, that's going to have nothing in it. That's more work bays. So once I can work through all the junk there, and look, a lot of stuff, I'm on my third wheelie bin full, and on my second pallet of scrap steel for here when I get a skip bin in for that. So all that will go, and that'll give us a couple of nice big long work bays right up to the front door there where that gantry is. From the gantry all the way back to the bench here will be clear floor space, and the benefit I'm getting is those lights up there and one straight above me here. It gives me better light than I've ever had before. So when we look over at the bench there, some of my older videos, I look back at them and they've got like a yellowy sheen to them, and that's just a good natural light. It looks on the monitor how it would be normally. So I'm slowly working my way through there. I've just about finished underneath there, John Deere parts for the 2030. We're going to put Jackson stands down here. I've got the Bundy Bear stenciling all along, just to, oh no, I just thought it looked alright doing it like that. And these are, that's the big top box and the bottom box, and this little tray here. I've always got tools every bloody where when I'm working, so that little fella with I've just got rags and bits and pieces there at the moment. I'm going to chuck all the spanners in there that would normally, in the past I've sat on the front of my blue bench. They're going to go there, and then they can go back in the 3/4 drive sockets that'll go down the bottom. So yeah, so I did a bit of wheeling and dealing through the week and ended up with that.